Oh, I'm so good at this. I've only done this for like 3 years. I surely, surely I can be let off just a little bit. Absolutely painful. Absolutely painful how bad I am at this. And then we've got to move it from unlisted to public. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, it's all good. These guys will be getting into it shortly, and I will have a little timer up when they get to getting a little bit closer. Or at least I should do. Who do you reckon's going to win this first game? I can do a vote. Vote? Oh, I have no idea. No idea how to do that. Exactly. This is the content. Professional vibes. Professionals only. Just while we're waiting for these guys to get in. Is it stupidly hot anywhere else, or is it just here? The UK, we struggle with the heat very badly, and the flies are everywhere. And I've got like a fly swatter little tennis racket thing, and I was acting like it was Wimbledon downstairs. I was absolutely slapping them. They had no chance. One was very satisfying. One was a proper forehand. Would have been an easy game winner. But actually, I say Wimbledon. I haven't really watched any Wimbledon at the moment. Is anybody liking the World Cup before we get in? Because England's still in the World Cup. It's a mighty fine time. Apart from the last game, it was quite frustrating to watch. And it's only 35 Celsius here, still warming up. It's 35 here, and that's hot. Well, actually, no, it was 35 here. It's not even that anymore. What are we? Let's check the phone. Well, so it's gone down to 23, but it's held the heat since last year, I swear. Over 100 Fahrenheit. That's like 35, isn't it? 100 Fahrenheit? Is that 40? It's quite a lot. Tell you what. Looks like they are getting into their game. Whether or not they're in the same one. Yes, they are. So they'll be starting the game mighty soon. Easily 100 here in Florida. 100 is 37.7. Oof. Ugh. It kind of depends where you are though, because some places, if that's dry heat, then it's at least a little bit nicer than our like wet heat, I guess you'd call it. Horrible, humid nastiness. There we go. The boys have started, and they are on 2 minutes 27 away. So we've got 2 minutes 27. I swear I set up a little timer. Oh, did I not? I put it on the wrong one, I guess. Oh well, that's a shame. So we've got 2 minutes 27 away from watching the lads. Going to be duking this one out. Who's your money on for this first one? I think it all depends on what kind of spawn you get on this Blue Lagoon. If you get quite a defensive spawn, I think Frey can be pretty good. But then you always run the risk of, if you go for that super defensive Frey with the Asgardian Bastion and that Frosty Hill Fort, then you get the Odin that could potentially go for the Undermine on it. And then you basically just waste that, and then you don't have that defensive setup. The Huskars from it don't really matter, so that's not really a big deal at all. But yeah, you haven't seen much of Grass. Grass doesn't play ladder very much unless he has to. He's part of the Keen clan, and I think they do a lot of kind of offline, well not offline, but you know, kind of secret scrims as everybody calls it. And then he shows up in tournaments and is like an insanely strong player that you just haven't heard of because he doesn't play ladder or anything very, very often. But he's very, very strong. Very, very strong player. And there we go. Comes up with HellsRavage. Does have a favourite god of Gaia. So, but that means he banned it out himself, though. Okay. Interesting. Maybe he just doesn't want to first pick it. Maybe that's the situation. Wait, 1630? No, that... He might have more than one account, potentially. Maybe that's the thing. Because 1630, I don't think he... There we go. There we go. Oh, and then this account is an Odin main. Oh, look how many games this guy's played on this one. I'm going to bet that that's just a second account for him. Maybe it's an account to play like team games with his clan or something. Maybe that's it. But yeah, it is. So it's a Keen versus DOD. So the two biggest clans in AOM. And we've got 9 seconds left on this bad lad. And then we'll be in. We're waiting for the relic tier list. The relic tier list. I haven't put out a video in a hot minute of anything. It's been crazy busy for me, unfortunately. Which side is grass? Grass is on the correct side. So we are going to be getting into this one right now. And let's get this show on the road, as it were. Okay, it is going to pop up, and it's going to be the round of 16. Going to be on the left side, Grass from the Keen clan. Going to be playing that Frey, and his opponent in the right side, in the blue color, HR or HellsRavage, depending on what account he's on. And he's going to be playing that Odin with a nice Christmas skin. I think this is the Christmassy skin. And we are getting underway on this one. So this is going to be a best of 5. The winner of this one goes through to the round of 8. And maybe just a little quick intro to what this is going to be. I don't know why there was a bit of Egyptian music playing. That was a little bit strange. But this is the round of 16, and there are 5 chances to get to Athens now. So if you get through this round, you get to the round of 8, you get to the end, you get to the final. Whoever wins the final is the first person going to Athens to meet the Mr. and Kavoth and the Rapple. So those guys all won S-tier tournaments, so they'll already be there. But everybody else has to qualify. So there was an open qualifier, and these guys, there were some invites to this stage for anyone that has very high tournament elo, and there were some that qualified through the open qualifier, and I believe Hells was one of those that managed to get through. So extremely strong player. And then once the player goes through this week, there will then be one less strong player in each of these kind of tournaments here. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Loads of high-level stuff going on. And I really like the map pool also. The map pool for this one. So we mentioned it at the start, before the game even. And it is going to be Blue Lagoon. Is it a defensive setup, Blue Lagoon? This answers your question, basically. If there's food and gold on a town center that has some sort of defensive setup, it is the dream town center. It doesn't get much better than this, but is this a situation you want to go for a town center against an Odin? Not straight away, but potentially you could go for one a little bit later on anyway. Is Sarnora saying that I could have competed? To be fair, I did think about competing. I honestly did. I know I wouldn't get through, and I was already casting in Athens anyway, but I don't think there was any danger of me getting through. But I do like competing, even if I know that I'm only going to get through one round, and the second round, I've lost in the second round 3 times. But it's just a lot of fun, you know? And some of these high level guys, when you get some really great games up against the best players. Like I played Kavoth a handful of times, I think maybe 5 times or so in kind of custom games, and every single game has been really fun. Obviously I've lost. Actually the first game was awful. The first game wasn't fun because I tried some cheese, and he was like, nah, when you're playing up against these top players, never do cheese. Just go for your own game plan. And after that, playing against top players is really good. So it is, as I expected, it's going to be a double Freya angle, as the Asgardian hill fort, the chilly hill fort, isn't going to be going up, as there was always a chance of Heimdall coming through from Hells, but kind of mind games going through. Does go for the Freya. There's going to be double Freya. Now, this means that the Odin does have an advantage early on. This is a matchup that I've played a decent amount of, because I've become a Norse main over the last, let's call it 1 year, maybe. And Odin's very, very strong. He does get the extra hunt bonus to start with, so he just has more resources to pump out Valkyries and things like that. And he also has some very, very strong just early pressure because of that. Whereas Frey, he takes a little bit longer to come online. He doesn't get that early boost of eco, but all his techs are cheaper. So the longer the game goes on, the better he kind of gets, where he gets a little bit more of a bonus. I don't mind that forest fire, but there is also a wood line back here. Now, you're never going to kill villagers with that kind of forest fire unless you have a Valkyrie there or some Berserk that might wall in. This could potentially be a walling in Berserk that could come through and do some forest fire on the backside. Looks like he is thinking about going for it. And the villagers will shank down the Berserk. I think he was just trying something, but sometimes just holding onto your forest fire just works out a little bit better for the time being. That's going to be Grass just auto-queuing his dwarfs over this side to get out a healthy number before thinking about building gatherers. Normally it's about 7 dwarfs. 6 to 8 dwarfs is normally the standard that we see. So we'll see if he goes for something similar to that. And then Hells on this side is doing something very similar. He got his 6. So standard play so far. And there's a random house in the corner. This does happen when you play Norse. Sometimes you just need to drop a random house at some time, but the HellsRavage Valkyrie might get caught out. No, he is fine. I thought sometimes you do get stuck on these little sections here, and it's going to be raiding from both parties here. Valkyrie's going to be very, very important in this. Nice play from Hells. Does manage to micro back his raiding cavalry nicely. Yes, bring that guy back, and then all of the grass units will run away. Will run away. Always in this matchup, you want to keep any of your units alive. You see that slow, passive kind of healing on your raiding cavalry there. There's also from the Valkyrie on both sides. So you really don't want to lose your raiders if you can help it. Obviously, you never want to lose units, but especially in this kind of situation here. There's a Valkyrie or Hells running up this top side. Could potentially get caught out by grass, but I don't think he spotted it. And we're going to be moving down over this side to the hunt and the gold mine, and it is the exact same for Hells. It's just not a matchup where you really see town centers unless they come through a little bit later on. This was like an Egyptian mirror. These would have been grabbed instantly. Nice play by Grass. Does manage to get in. He's also distracting on this side while going for the raid. Really, really nice. Does lose his Valkyrie, unfortunately, or no, just a raiding cavalry does go down. But this was more of just a distraction to try and win on both sides. Does manage to get a villager snipe. So Hells is down 1 villager and also loses a Berserk. So little swings. Definitely got a bit more value out of his forest fire there. Kind of also getting rid of the wall, basically. The wall is now somewhat useless, and Grass does decide to wall up this side completely, as this is the Frey way. Also getting his upgrades in, as they are cheaper. We mentioned the favor cost is the same, though. 20 favor for this, and does go down to 75 on the food. Super, super cheap upgrades. Raiding Cavalry for Hells is going to be running through. Going to be having a little look. See, farms are cheaper. Probably not going to be impactful, that relic at all. We didn't look at any of the other relics while the guys are chilling. Why can I not see the relic that's here? I swear there should be a relic right on this spot. No? Maybe it's been grabbed. Maybe it's just a little bit of a glitch. Anyway, Raiders coming through for Grass. Does Hells have a response? I did see that he is building some Herdmen, and getting just a couple of Herdmen out on the defensive is always a nice option against this pure raiding cavalry Freya from the other side. Just having, literally, just like this, just having 4 Herdmen here, their multiplier is ridiculous. It does mean that you are on the defensive quite a lot, though. No Forest Fire on this side, so just going to be trading blows. Hells needs to make sure to keep his Valkyrie alive, and we'll be able to run away from that one. Whereas the Grass Valkyrie, full HP, does also have some hearses there. I think I like Hells's comp here, especially if he's playing this defensive style. I just don't know whether the Odin really wants to play the defensive style, because it definitely does favor Grass as the game goes on, as he's setting up his walls, getting his armory down. Might even want to go to the next age, potentially. Does want to still keep up the raiding parties, though. He's now building out a few raiders on this side to maybe have a raiding party on both sides. The HellsRavage raider does have a little scout around. Also spotted some dwarves up on this top position. Herdman getting caught out for Hells, and he's also caught by his own walls. No gate in there yet. We'll also be able to take down a couple of raiders. So much raiding going on this side. I think Hells definitely wins this fight, though, so he's going to be happy with that one. Not as many raiders on Grass's side. And Hells also trying to just poke through here. I don't think he realized all of these walls are up. Probably just right-clicked this back position. Grass coming in for more raids. It's absolutely ridiculous. Throwing Axeman coming in. You don't want throwing Axeman, really, until you see the Herdman. Maybe he thought that the Herdman were definitely coming through. But on this defensive position, you don't need them. Maybe a missed macro from Hells' perspective. Yeah, he basically just isn't gathering food because he's just getting pushed off of it so much that he just wanted some units out, basically. And Grass is winning this one nicely with his medium raiders over standard raiders. Also, these villagers getting caught out. Ooh. Hells definitely going to be hurting from that one. Needs to bring all of his raiders back. And then that will scare Grass off more often than not. Even the dwarves finishing up on this side. And there's no little cheeky wall down here. Always worth it. It's like a 6 gold wall. And it just stops Grass running through on this bottom side. Grass does get out. And Grass is just slowly edging forward. Just getting a couple of villager kills. Literally just 2 villager kills up. But he's winning these tiny little trades. Where Hells maybe just leaves his units there for maybe 2 seconds too long. But that's more than enough in this kind of war where you've got so many things to look after. And this is where Grass definitely shines. His defensive setup on this side is so great. Also, armory upgrades coming in as they're so cheap. They just take so long to come through. And the Herdman on this side for Hells is going to get caught out again. I think Hells just needs to slow it down a little bit. I think he's kind of trying... Oh, it's also Heroic Age coming through for Grass as well. He's just so far ahead. Just thinking Hells just needs to kind of just keep his units together, or maybe just go for one raid and then have a defensive setup. Just with how Grass has played, he could even go up on this position. The Raven does spot it. This is it. This is what he needs to do. Send his units up here, leave some defensive units back for when Grass inevitably comes for raid number 8, 9, and 10. How do these guys do it? He hasn't even spotted this. He hasn't even spotted these guys moving, but he just hasn't seen Hells for a while, so he's probably thinking, well, he's probably raiding me, right? And he absolutely is. This is what Hells needs to get back in this game. The only thing is these are not medium raiders, so they kind of just tickle the villagers. The villagers also have their equipment to survive, so they have that 69 HP rather than 55, and didn't get as many as he would have hoped. If he was medium, he would have got them all, but it does... Grass does live with 2 of those. Now, Hells does have the villager lead back again. Battle Balls coming forward. Decent amount of favour on both sides, as Grass does queue up double Valkyrie. And in this matchup, the Valkyries, the player with more Valkyries is going to be having a better time. Now the throwing axemen are in. This is when you do want them, when the hearsers start to come forward, when more throwing axemen come forward, but it is going to be a big flaming weapons, and can Hells hold this? I think it's going to be a little bit rough. A lot of his units are back here. There's also just more red stuff. All of the blue kind of melting away, and Grass, within 12 minutes, 50 seconds, does manage to take that one. Just really nice raids. The raiding parties on both sides for Grass, just absolutely clinical. Just the little play here where he was raiding this side and then he just hit a cheeky forest fire here. Only got a small amount of units, but it did just make Hells look over here, react to that, and then that was a couple of villagers down for Grass, just really taking the attention of Hells all over the map. And that is a nice fray game to start us off. Oh, we kept my face on. Oh, well. We just have to put up with it being hot here. So, game 1 does go Grass's way. And we will be getting into this next one very shortly. They are in the game 2 minutes ago. So, let's see what this is going to be. And we'll be getting into it momentarily. And Uros is in. Neymar as well. Good to see you all. It's a little bit dark here. Maybe I could fix that up. Oh, That's not the muscle memory you really want. I've just started a ranked game. Well, not started one, but I went to queue. Oh dear, oh dear. What am I playing at? Of course, the game's gonna do a bit of freezing, but anyway, absolutely clinical game from Grass. That is exactly how you want to start a series off against Hells here. Definitely looking at the map pool also. The map pool is pretty ridiculous for this kind of open pressure, and Blue Lagoon is probably the most defensive map on there. Maybe Gorge is quite big, so the horses definitely do play a part. Soup versus Matrius. Yes, there is Soup versus Matrius happening on Boyd's channel as well. But we'll be getting into this one. It's going to be Grass versus Hells. We're 17 seconds away, so I don't have time to set up what their matchup's going to be. So we'll just get straight into it. Why not? Yeah, Grass was hiding his face, I believe. That's going to... Oh, the Loki. The Loki's in. Now we're talking. And Grass is on the left side again. So it's set up perfectly. Set up absolutely perfectly for me. Let's get into this second game. Game number 2 is going to be on Ghost Lake. Grass takes a swift first victory over Hells in that first one with that Norse mirror. Now he's piloting the Loki, is Grass, and he's up against Hells on the Shenong. Now, Loki is one of my favorite gods to play. I absolutely love a Loki game, but there are a few matchups that Loki just struggles with, and Shenong is one of them. So we'll see what Hells can do in this one. This will be a great way for him to just bite back, basically. But it isn't the easiest. Loki has had some buffs. He can always do some big raids, maybe coming in with some Berserks raiding, coming in with the hearses that have now got a little bit more speed. So Grass can still play that raiding style. And the map is Ghost Lake. And if we're on Ghost Lake, it's always worth checking the gold mines, first of all. And it is a 1 gold mine variant. Both players have a somewhat defendable gold mine. This one could be easy to just have a wall across for Hells, and then a back one for Grass with a similar wall situation. But the rest of it, 2 gold mines on this side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on this right side. So the players will definitely want to go for the right side whenever they're thinking about some kind of map pressure. And Grass's build here, he knows exactly how many villagers he wants to advance with, not bothering with just queuing them out whenever he needs to. Just getting his dwarves in, getting his 3 gatherers, and that'll be his advance time, I assume. The only thing is, playing Loki on Ghost Lake, I love the soup build. I'm a big proprietor of the soup build, which is grab your hearses nice and early, but not something that you can really do on Ghost Lake because there's all these goats, and then you just basically have no goats, and it's a little bit rough for you. You can get away with it and just play goatless, but it's a little bit of a bad situation for yourself. So you've got 11 goats on Grass's side, and then on this side, on Hells' side, 9. So very, very even. I think there's probably a couple more left to grab. Yes, there is up there. There is some more up there. So pretty even. So definitely worth going for that style instead. And then Hells going to be dropping his temple here. I don't really like the temple being this forward anymore. It's something that players have done for so long. But up against someone like Loki that just wants to come in and just deal with you, basically. Just come, bring the hearses, and just keep whacking their hammers on whatever they can find. And the temple is going to be that. If there's no units out, of course, there's more than likely going to be some fire archers or something to defend. But maybe your fire archers are out of position, your temple's going to get hit down. It's just not cut and dry. Grass going to be dropping his temple. He's getting 1 more dwarf out, and he is going to go for that Forseti angle. Because he showed how strong he is with this raiding style in the first game. I think Forseti makes so much sense. So Grass going in for something similar, just going in for the infantry instead of those cavalry. And it's going to be the Shio on the side of Hells. mainly for that lightning weapons. Lightning weapons up against the Norse is rough for the Norse player, let's say. Also, of course, having the upgrade for your halberdier if Grass decides to go into any raiding cavalry. I think raiding cavalry at some point you definitely need as the Loki for kind of picking off units or just applying pressure, similar to the last game. Relics coming through. So we've got myth units, movement speed plus 5% of base. I don't expect any myth unit situation to come through from Hells. It's not something you can really do up against Loki, especially after that hero speed buff. So the Yartz's 5.6 speed, the Hearses after their double upgrade are going to be more than that anyway. Oh, we have the names. We have the names of the Hearses. So for anyone that donated some money towards the cause, we've got Honey here, El Cucino, and we've got Wilfor. And then do we have another one? Acality. Here we go. The Hearses coming through. Maybe they were in the last game and I just didn't notice. But I definitely need to be clicking on these Hearses to see who it is. There's no Egyptians yet, so we can't click on any of those to see what their names are. It's going to be villagers gathering huntables. A little bit of a bonus. It's when you play this map pack, you get the special names. So people have donated to have their names in just to show the support for the Athens LAN. And the Yartza is going to be coming through, getting some good damage done, but no upgrades on that bad boy. So it does take a few hits, and Grass more than quick enough to deal with that one. And then does bring Mr. Solomon back. A great defensive unit, Mr. Solomon. And Honey and the crew going forward is going to be greeted by Pioneers, Fire Archers, and the like. And the Spy on the Pioneers on the backside, knowing that he's probably not going to be able to attack those Pioneers and just wants to know exactly where the army of Hells is. Hearses moving back. Is there another one? No, I think we got every single one. Definitely need to be looking out for those. On this top side, Grass does take this opportunity to move out onto the Caribou. And Hells sitting in his base for the time being, as he did drop the Shenong's farm, so he does have a little bit more time on his starting boards. And Hells on this side, basically just fully walling in. He's got his Quafus that he's building out, basically on auto queue. I think he's auto queued both. This is an interesting shout. If you have the resources, he wants a Quafu, but if he doesn't, he's happy to have a peasant. It's a fine way to go. You can always just manually cast them as well, manually train them whenever you want. But having them auto queue on both, just when I have resources, I want it. When I don't, I don't. That's it. Berserk does have 11 HP. Peasant can probably turn around and shank, but Hells is not paying attention. This is going to be a huge win for Grass there. He also picked off one at the top side. Just not paying attention. The Berserks do crazy damage. Like, absolutely crazy damage. You have to be watching out for them, but they die instantly. They just have no HP there. I think the Peasant could have turned around basically when he was half HP and probably won that fight. But a huge double pick off for Grass. He'll be happy with that one. And this is the style that I thought he would definitely play. Bring these guys out. Jesse Suarez. Nailed it. I'm sure that's what it says. Okay. A random guy, dude, fellow. What a name. What a name. Coming through. And if we move over to Grass's perspective, he can see exactly what is going on. You're going to be using your units to defend your food source, so he knows that is the case. And no cheeky wall again. No, just a little tiny wall down this side. The Hearses do have their double upgrade as well, so they are 5.5 speed. And this is when the Raiders do start to come through. On this side, I think Hells smartly drops the second lot of Shenong's farms. He's got enough favor. He doesn't want to spend it on the myth units we mentioned earlier, just because there's just so many Hearses, there's no need to spend it there. And he doesn't want to build too many Quafus, I guess. He is going this auto queue, one and the other. So a little bit more food, a little bit more safe food before he has to jump onto his chickens, his berry bushes, and then finally his goats. So I think it's a great shout. Could even go for another one of those 10 favorites, probably worth it. And this gathers similarly to Hunt, so why not? Whereas Grass, not being aggressed on at all, could even just send the Chong-Chi over, because he's going to be useless in this fight. There's no reason not to send him over to the Gatherers, just to even just... You see, he's just going to be taken down so quick. The hearses are going to be coming around the backside on those fire archers, and the lightning weapons is going to be able to force Grass away, though. But Grass has got rid of the lightning weapons for 1, 2, 3, 4. How many hammers are down? Maybe that's a 5th hammer as well. So 5 units going down, 6 units going down. Maybe the last 2 a little bit rough for Grass, but that is something that you just have to deal with. And he did force it out of hell, so he must have wanted to do that because he could know that that could come through at any moment. Mr. Solomon, 40 HP, coming back to life. But the Chong-Chi, now he's going to start raiding. Definitely send that boy over to the hunt source. That's exactly where he's going. He's assuming that Grass is probably going to be on this hunt source. Why not? And the Gatherer going to be taking some damage. Hells does notice that one. Also just sending Sky Lanterns through to the main base so he can see all of the hearses. All the hearses will come through to deal with this Chong-Chi, but Chong-Chi should be able to get 1 kill. Does manage to get that, and then he should be able to run away from those hearses, no problem. Hit that Q button, he's up in the air. Does take a couple of whacks, but actually just 1 whack before he gets back. But this is it. It isn't just a villager kill, it's forcing 8 hearses to run over here. Maybe a bit of an overreaction, but still, it's forcing a reaction from your opponent, and it's what you need to do whenever you can, basically. Machine Workshop coming down. Grass trying to get in. Hell's playing a much cleaner game in this one. He's also dropping his house. Probably will have another house on this side, stopping that annoying Hearser raid coming through. I think he just let the last one get away from him just a little bit, and he's definitely got a firm foot in this one. There is a little bit of a game pause going on. I'll look on Discord to see if they said why. So they've not said why. So hopefully this becomes unpaused. There we go. It is. It just needs a little pause from me. Otherwise, the game gets a little bit confused because it thinks it's paused and then it thinks it's not. But we are back, and the Machine Workshop going down. So they have resolved whatever the problem was. Double Heroic Cage coming through. Bragi on the side of Grass is going to be through first. And then there's going to be a Rusho on the side of Hells. Rusho with your Fey Beast is a great counter to Throwing Axeman, but I don't think there's any Throwing Axeman out yet, so I don't imagine a swift drop of that coming through will really get much damage done against the Hearses that can just counter the Fey Beast because they are myth units very quickly, and then the Raiding Cavalry that can just run away. So the Tau Swordsman upgrades and the Baihu, obviously insane, so makes sense to go for it for later, but I wouldn't go for that kind of quick, let's catch out my opponent, or maybe just wait for some Throwing Axemen to come through, or something like that. Al Pacino and the boys want to come through on this side, and the Machine Workshop is going to be hit a little bit. Chong-Chi again, coming back, just send him over. Babies coming through, and it's just more Hearses. How many Hearses does Grass have? He's got 18. Got 18 Hearses. I guess one thing about just building pure Hearses is there's no strict kind of Hippaspis type creature to stop it. Obviously you have the archers. All archers are good against these, but the Hearses are so quick that maybe they can get away. Maybe this is just a great comp. Now they've been buffed slightly up against Hells, and they're potentially going to be a flaming weapons to come through. There's going to be no lightning weapons as a counter to it, but the Fey Beast is going to be dropped, and a nice wall from Hells. But can he actually defend against this? The Fey Beast plus wall combo is working out for him nicely. Big troll spawn on this bottom side, though. Although the units are also getting caught out up on this side. Fey Beast do go down. Nice little wall from Hells there, but he has lost a couple of villagers. Maybe not losing as many units as he thought, but the villagers were subjected to a little bit of pain on the receiving end of those hammers. Now the Fire Archers coming through will be able to clear up everything, and I don't think Grass would have been happy with that flaming weapons. A great wall set up by Hells, expecting that one, and the Hearses all going down. This top side, though, some villagers are definitely going to be going down. Maybe the Shenong's farms are going to need to be aggressed on from Grass, and the Halberdiers do need to run away. They were there for the Raiding Cavalry, but there's no Raiding Cavalry around here at all. One thing Grass did get from that, though, as it was all Hearses with flaming weapons with huge amounts of damage coming through, is he has 115 favor. He can have another healing spring if he wants to get all these guys back up to full. Probably not the best in this situation, But he could go for that. He could save up for another flaming weapons, or just go pure battle bore, come back in. Could be a huge play. You kind of need to set up for the battle bore, though. They cost a lot of gold, so you need a few more dwarves. 11 dwarves, maybe that is even enough to do that. Terracotta Riders coming through. Jordan Gamler loves his battle boars. They've also been buffed again. I don't know why we're buffing battle boars. I think whoever's buffing battle boars isn't a Loki player, because they are good. Yeah, you can just turn around and shank these guys. They go down to 1 HP, so they can just be shanked, no problem. Grass is probably going to retreat. Yeah, he does see the Dow Swordsman out of the corner of his vision. Would have definitely seen that there. And Hells does run away. Hells in a good spot here, military-wise. It's also very close on the villagers, even after losing just a couple there. And what is he going for here? Getting a tower on one of his buildings. He's also getting his Dow Swordsman upgrades. So just infantry do get a little bit of divine damage. So that also does help out his halberdiers as well. And this is a comp that Grass will struggle with at this point. Unless he has some kind of Huskars coming through. He is getting those Jarls in. How many halberdiers are there? There's only 5 halberdiers, so I really like the Jarl. That's a great find from Grass, just to know that that's coming through. The issue is that Hells does have these Sky Lanterns, so he can see. He's like, oh, he's only going Jarls and Myth units. Well, it looks like I'm going to build... That's it. Going to build some halberdiers. I was thinking he's building fire archers. They were already sat in that queue. But he's just been like, yep, I just need to get up to 175 pop of more. And Grass doesn't quite have the amount of units in to deal with this. Jarls are great horses to soak up that damage, but they don't deal much damage at all, really. Need some throwing axemen, need something, need berserks, need something to deal the damage, or just the Myth units even. If you just get some trolls out, some battle boars, something like that. Even just the hearses coming back out. Something with a big hammer is usually worth it. And the hammers are back over here. Hammers coming in, dealing with this. There is a little bit of a wall gone down. Frost Giant spawn. It's going to be pretty big, but there is Zhang Xia here. Going to be dealing with this one. A nice raid from Grass, though. This is what he wants with his hearses. It's where the hearses do shine with their new fancy bit of speed. And on this top side, it looks like it's only fire archers left. All of those frontline halberdiers have gone down, and Grass winning on both sides. He is going to be getting an Inery spawn. That the Inery does go down. You can just turn around, get rid of that guy, get him out of here. And the Pioneers going to be running back, going to be running behind the wooden wall, and should be going after the Great Jarls. Great Jarls do turn around and book it, of course. And still the gold mine not really defended either. There's a cheeky wall here, but not too much. But Grass brought himself back into that one very, very nicely. Also grabbing himself a town center, and huge on the villager kill. I didn't realize he got that many. He didn't do too badly in the fight either, and thinking that a town center might even go unnoticed from Hells. But this is a great town center. It has so many gold mines next to it. We saw this one. We saw this one. Has 3 gold mines in the vicinity to be able to defend. This one's a little bit out there, but still 2 very easy to defend gold mines with a few walls, longhouses coming down. Imagine some dwarves will be made from this town center, go straight to the gold mine. Absolutely. I kind of like the grab of this gold mine also. Grabbing 1 gold mine early and then transitioning up to this top side. Hillfort coming in to defend it as well. I like how Grass is playing it. Hells could get some big damage done on this side though. Is this something that Grass knows about? No, but he does have Eyes of the Forest. Eyes of the Forest means that he can see this from so far away. This huge pack of blue coming forward. There is a wooden gate here, and the slow army of Hells will be able to take out some dwarves to get himself back even. But this is all his army moving over here. We'll have to take down the gate as well. And what does Grass do? Does he just sacrifice those, just saying, I got enough villager kills, I'm just going to distract you while I get set up on this side, which is exactly what he wants to do. He can also aggress on this side, because basically the whole army of Hells is on this side. He's going to go for it again. There is a tower from the machine workshop or something. One of these buildings does have a little bit of a tower on it, and the Berserk's hearses are low, but it is only 1 tower at the end of the day, meaning fire archers do come in, and Grass will have to pack his bags. But the Quafu do just retreat back to this gold mine. Maybe staying on this gold mine a little bit too long, but does make sense while you can be there, but he did lose quite a few villagers for it. The dwarfs all do go down on this side. Yeah, we didn't see any get out of there. They did! You can't make that rotation with all your army and let 6 villagers get away. That's criminal. That's criminal that Grass gets away with that. So, nice play by Grass to somehow manage that. We were distracted by the hearses on this side. I guess Hells was also distracted. But the dudes just... They are not quick. They are slow. They've got 4 speed each. And they are only just slightly quicker than those villagers. So, if they just do a quick juke, the villagers are out of there. Hells, rightly so, getting a few sages out, knowing that the myth units of Grass are going to come through at some point with 243 favor and a dream. But this one is looking a little bit rough now. Grass will be able to get away round his longhouses. Kind of, they are in the way. He has built them in a not the best spot to run from. But Grass does have another flaming weapons. He's just edged over that 250 favor. So this could be an option for Grass if he wants to go for it. No lightning weapons on the other side. But how much damage do the fire archers do? They are stuck in this position. Is it ever worth fleeting your hill fort to be able to get onto these units? Maybe not. Maybe that's a little bit of a weird thing. Anyway, hill fort doing some damage. Hundun on the backside do go down. But fire archers up against all of the hearses. They're in just such a good spot that there's no Huskarls. There's hardly any units that really counter these guys. And the fire archers have done 5k damage. You thought it was a good option, the flaming weapons. Maybe deleting the hill fort might have actually done something. That sounds crazy, but I would never think of that while playing, though. That is something that I definitely got to bring up. You never think of that when you're playing, but when you're watching, you're like, why didn't the guy delete his hill fort? But now Hell's in a terrific spot. We'll be able to take down the hill fort. Of course, fire archers do big damage to buildings. There are some great yards on the backside. There isn't much frontline for Hells. I don't know if he's overstaying his welcome, maybe. Definitely, I mean, he's here now. Take out the hill fort, then run. Do some kiting back with his fire archers. But even taking out the throwing axeman could be nice. There are some more blue units swarming in as well. And Grass trying to take the fight. He's going back on this top gold mine. I don't know why he doesn't go for this bottom one. But the blue units still alive, still doing damage. So many of these fire archers going down, but even 15 of them still got 4k damage. The Valkyrie putting in some serious work, though, as all the heroes have, of course, gone down. Defender's advantage coming through for Grass. I just... Hells was in such a good spot there, but he just overstayed. Overstayed his welcome a little bit. I think he's still fine, but... Or is he fine? He is down on the villager numbers thanks to this town centre. And Grass does manage to survive that one with just all of his units spawning here. That was the difference maker. Now where does Hells go from here? It's such a great defense as well against that flaming weapons. He must have almost read it also. I mean, we thought it was coming. There's been no myth units, that many hearses. You know that there's a potential for something. Maybe a healing spring to go down. Flaming weapons is usually the one that people choose, but I think second healing spring is definitely slept on. Hillfoot coming up on the front, and I don't think Hell sees this. No, he doesn't. Units are pretty blind, and the Hillfoot does go up, and the Dow Swordsman will be running away. That is for sure. Yeah, Neymar, I agree. I just don't think there was any need to go for the hill fort. He'd done the damage. The hill fort was almost dead also. Just run away, regroup, bring your units in. You'll take down that hill fort so quick if you just come back in 30 seconds time. But I just think he thought he was ahead and could just keep going. And now we're back to a somewhat even state of the game. Well played to Grass, though, to just keep spamming units to that position. That must have been so demoralizing after that flaming weapons. But in comes the Halberdier and squad again. Grass now does have the addition of a very strong unit up against the Chinese, which is Huskarls. Is the best counter to Huskarls really is the Fire Archer, but the Fire Archer does pierce damage, and the pierce damage of Huskarls make that a little bit rough for him. Our swordsman going to be coming through, trying to get in, but the throwing axemen are in, and there could be another lightning weapons getting dropped down? Yes, there is. What is this going to do to all these red units? A battle board does get stunned away as well. And the battle board going to be dealing big damage on this side. Big Valkyrie spawn in the backside. I say big, it's probably not the best spawn that he could have got. A big rock giant spawn could have been nice there. But the throwing axemen, mostly untouched on this backside. They're going to be having a good day against the Dow swordsman. But they seem to be surviving for quite a while. Huge berserk transformation. You can see that the red villager bar has just gone down. And I think that is going to make Grass win this fight. Absolutely massive play. This is what you can do with the two town centers. Is just convert however many it was there to those berserks. And we said how much damage they do earlier when Grass went on that raid with just one berserk, how quickly it takes out villagers. Imagine 14 of them. I think he built out a couple of those, but still, he was ahead about 10 villagers worth. Maybe there was all of those 15 berserks. Absolutely massive, and does manage to defend very, very nicely. Fire archers, though, should be able to deal with those berserks, no problem. Is there ballistics in? Yes, there is. So even though they are kind of quick berserks, they should be able to get away. Now, big rock giant spawn. Did come through a little bit late. Would have been nicer in that fight for Grass, but he will definitely take that. And Hells, I think this is a reluctant town center, I think. A little bit late on the town center, but after that big conversion, does keep him even in this game. The back and forth on this game is wild. Also, wide open. He's next to a longhouse. He does have 1,700 left in this gold mine, 1,300 left in this gold mine, and he has this gold mine that he can wall off. So I think it's a little bit greedy. The Berserker's coming over here, and the troll spawn as well. The Berserker's going to be taking out all of those peasants. All of these peasants go down as well. Huge play for Grass on this bottom side. Those Berserk conversions didn't just help him stay in the game. They're actually pulling him ahead right on this bottom side. All the villagers don't sit inside the tower either. They're such low HP. If there was a tower upgrade, these guys would just be slowly picked off very, very easily. What can Hells do on this top side? He needs to get something done while the Berserks are just going to town on him. And this is such a cheeky play on this Grass guy. Such a cheeky play. I don't know if Grass plays many team games. I think the Keen boys do play a lot. But this is such a team game strat of just stealing a back town center from somebody and they won't notice because, well, why would you even look down there until you need it, basically? There's no resources around it. Big play underneath the hill fort, double hill fort. Not sure if Hells wants to go for this, but he has so many units here. Maybe he does. There are lots of these Goaties to take out the Qinglong. Qinglong just backs away. Now the Goaties don't do too much up against this army. Maybe they're going to be okay up against some of those halberdiers. Don't have much pierce armor, so if you can focus those down with the Goaties, or just keep the Goaties back and just wait, basically. But the hill forts will be doing that slow chip damage, and Hell's wanting to get his Dow swordsman through. He also brings in the Chuko noob. We basically never see this unit, just because it attacks so slow. But if the unit's standing there and you're not running around with it, then it can be strong. It's just slow at attacking, slow at moving. It's just slow. The boy is slow. Qinglong coming in again, trying to get that big damage through. And Grass pulling ahead in villagers. Qinglong does go down. And Grass back up to 169 favor. And the Berserks will be getting caught out. But does Hells know about the town center? Oh. Oh! Oh! Grass getting away with murder, taking the town center, and then gets away with his... How many guys was that? 8 units. Send them back to the healing spring. Why not? Oh! Just the tiny little things there. Those units would have gone down so quickly. And Grass doesn't really have that much population. Neither does Hells. Just a real scrappy game. Triple hill fort coming down on this position. And now the siege crossbow comes in. This is exactly what Hells needs to break this position. Battle board going to be spawning. Sages need to come back through for Hells, for sure. You know that there's going to be spawns. You just need to bring a sage. You need to keep him in your back pocket at all times. And I think Hells kind of... I don't know if he needs to attack at this point. And he agrees. And Grass does manage to take that one. I think just going into 3 hill forts. Once there's a 3rd hill fort up, you just go, you know what, just have that gold mine. I'm going to attack somewhere else. Well played to Grass there. That was a crazy, absolutely crazy game. The Berserks, the Flaming Weapons attack, first of all, how did that not work? Great play by Hells to just stand his ground rather than trying to run away. But then the Berserk transformation from Grass keeps him in it, and then the Berserks with the town center and the huge raid definitely bring him over the finish line. Well played to Grass in this really tough matchup as well. That was a huge, huge game. Huge game played by Grass there. And it's such a rough matchup. Like, that is such a tough matchup for the Loki there. I know. I've played many of that matchup. It is rough. Let's have a look. See if they're in. Okay, looks like they're not in the next one yet. But the map is going to be Gorge. I mean, that was a bit of a belter. Maybe they're just going to have a little quick grab something to drink or something like that. I don't blame him. I gotta have a quick drink here. Sam wants his message highlighted. What do we think? Oh, there's another highlight. What do we think the next Pantheon's going to be? I don't know. I mean, if there was another Pantheon, what would it be? Celts. Celts would be cool. I don't know much about the Celts, but would be cool. What about devs giving more love to ranked players? I would like that. I would like all of those things listed. I would like gold, silver, bronze, diamond, platinum, masters, league, all that stuff. I think it would be cool. For sure. It's alright. It's alright. Long comments are fine. I know exactly what you're chatting. And I agree. I would like that. Let me just go on the old website where they're sorting everything out. Loki versus Shenong. Okay. Oh, here we go. No, it isn't. It's Kronos versus Aranos on Gorge. Oh, I was a little bit slow. Wait, let me... So, what was the matchup we just saw? It was Loki on Ghost Lake versus Shenong. So that's that one. And now it's going to be, for Grass, it's going to be Kronos versus Aranos. Kronos versus Aranos on the map Gorge. This screams an Aranos map to me, because it is absolutely massive. How do I do it? Do I hit save? I think I hit save. Eros has made this really cool thing for me. I'm not versed in technology. Okay. So Kronos versus Aranos on Gorge. If this is the first time you're seeing Gorge, it's absolutely massive. Gorge, this feels kind of small. Gorge is a huge map. Huge. Pretty sure. I played it a couple of times. Well, we'll be getting into it in a hot second. Also, Honey, you were a Herser in that last game. I don't know if you saw, but you are officially a Herser. You're in it. Ghost Lake is 2 Gorges. Ooh. I think potentially they've forgotten to give me the game. Let's go find it ourselves. Yeah. They just forgot to give me the game. It's alright. We'll let them off. But it does mean that we get straight into it, so we won't complain about that. It's going to be a Kronos versus Aranos game. Hells on the Aranos needs to win this one to stay in the series. And we're going to be getting into it right now. Game number 3 on the map. Okay, this has changed completely. This is the map Gorge, right? Gorge recalibrated 1.3. I swear this map used to be really, really big. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just the elevation which makes it seem big, but I don't remember this bit in the middle. Anyway, Gorge, it's going to be Grass up 2-0, going to be coming in as the Kronos, dropping his mana down next to his gold mine. And on this side, Hells, not on the board just yet, but he did play a pretty good game in that last one. Just a couple of missteps meant that he didn't manage to take the win, but it was an insane game played by both players. So I believe Hells does have it in him to get this one done. And why do I say Aranos is a good god on this? It's because this map feels big to me. Maybe if we can look to see how big the Oracle circles are. You see, this is a small Oracle circle. Big map. Big map. Everyone agrees. Let's have a look at some of the relics. We haven't really seen any relics on the games. I've been ignoring them for the most part. But we've got human soldiers and heroes are going to have less damage vulnerability to pierce -5%. So better against pierce attacks. In other words, God Power recharge time is less, which is just good for Atlanteans in general. I would imagine there'd be a fight over this one. And on this side, Cavalry hit points plus 10% of base. A huge, huge relic. One of the best relics in the entire game. That's the one for your S tier for your tier list of relics. And on this side, inventory movement speed plus 5%, another S tier. Huge relic for your tier list as well. On this side, Hell's going to be dropping his temple down and going for nothing cheeky, nothing out of the ordinary. I like when Atlantean players go for different builds because there's such a standard build to go for these Atlantean guys with the donkeys and everything. Because they're worth 2 villagers, you don't really get that many intricate builds that you do with other civilizations. Or at least you don't see players go for them. But when I play Atlanteans, I go for an extra 2 oracles in the archaic age, and I go for a round of 430 advanced time. And it's just so much more fun when you're playing these guys. If you're playing Aranos and you get to the next stage with a ridiculous amount of favor, and then you just start spamming those Prometheans, or the other side, if you could do that with Kronos also, just slightly less favor, and it's nice. Sorry guys, but what does 11 mean? 11 is laugh. I don't know if I can laugh in this. I can't. No, in all Age of Empires games, 11 is laugh. So 1 is yes, 2 is no, and 11 is laugh. And that'll get used everywhere in the Age of Empires community. AoE 1, 2, 3, 4, and AOM. All of us use those 3. I don't know if any of the others are shared, potentially, but those ones definitely are. They're the taunts. Prometheus on the red side, and an Oceanus for Hells on the other side. I don't know. I like Prometheus, but I know players really like their Oceanus. Oceanus did get hit with pretty crazy nerf, to be honest, with flying units now have homing ballistics on them when heroes attack. So heroes basically can't miss the Caladria. So if you get a Hero Terma that's close enough to the Caladria, it's just going to hit it. And the Hero Terma is speedy boy, so the Caladria is probably going to go down at some point. Big Kronos attack coming through from grass, and the Citizen is not paying attention. The Caladria needs to get over here, and she wasn't paying attention either, but the Citizen does manage to get through. The Sky Passage going up at home, and the Sky Passage up to another spot over here, potentially. Yes. And there is going to be some big damage coming through from these early Prometheus, just causing all sorts of trouble for Hells. The Caladria not following either, but the villagers really struggling up against these clay men. And the Caladria can just kind of sit there. Are there any units coming out? Just need one Hero Mamillo to deal with this one. No problem. Here he is, going to be coming through. But what is Grass doing on the back of this? You never see a player at this sort of level coming forward and just doing this without doing anything else. And of course, he's grabbing himself a town center. Already brought his temple back, as you need to time shift that one. It takes a very long time now. It takes like 40 seconds or something. And the mana is also here so that the town center goes up quicker. And Grass is going to be playing that very eco-focused one. I mean, look at this town center. Gold mines on it, boars that you can drag close to the gold mine. And he's going to be booming up with his Valors. We move over to his granary, which he doesn't have one yet. The reason for this is Theft of Fire, which is hero citizens have more, they do more eco stuff. They gather faster, build faster, all that good stuff. And the citizens are just generally tankier. So it just makes them very, very strong. And looks like Hells is going to be going for a 1 TC play. Promethean Offspring does get away. The Mamillos will be able to shank those down. And the Caladria, having a look around, and Hells knows what he's up against. So he can do two things, really. He can plan a 1TC game, or he can just match this and say, I'm just going to take the hit and have a late town center. The issue is with that is that he didn't go Prometheus either. Maybe if he went Prometheus, you could say that and just go, I'm just going to take the hit and go up and just have 4 less villagers or something. It's rough, but if you're doing that with the Valors and everything, you can do that. But you know that Grass here, he's just going to have an insane eco. So Hells cannot match that, so he needs to get something done. And these Mamillo need to come forward, get some good damage in. Grass does have a nice mana here. And these guys with their mana jumping in and out. Nice plays. Could have just run after this Citizen. Just force out the Valors. Yes, the Valor does come in, it fully heals your units, but just force it out. There's no reason to let your opponent get away with a half HP Citizen like that. The Mamillo could have easily chased that down. But anyway, trying to go after the guaranteed kill, which is the mana. There is that Theft of Fire upgrade. Look at all it does. It does everything. Farms, huntables, herdables, berry bushes, gold, wood, and buildings. And on this side, Grass are going to be grabbing some Prometheans in. And a counter barracks, probably going to be grabbing a Caraballister to sit back and chill, would be the option. Caraballister plus the Prometheans. Prometheans to tank, Caraballister to do the deeps is more than likely what we're going to see. Mamillo does have his grass-cutting sword. Take that one home, my friend. He's been carrying that one. It does make your Mamillo quicker, which is going to make them so much better on these raids. Well, not so much better. 5%, but still, it gives you a little bit of a boost. Oracle on this side. Sky Passage is going to be dropped. Grass will know that one's coming forward. Caraballister taking some damage from the Terma. Nice addition already. Hell's expecting the Caraballister defensive unit to come through, so does grab his Termas. As Termas do counter this fat lad back here. But Grass defending nicely. He has heroized his Caraballister though. I don't know whether that's a bit preemptive. You kind of want to save that for when he's starting to take damage. But if there's enough Terma, you kind of one-shot him, so you have to be watching out for that one. Hell's going to be retreating back. May lose a Terma here. Oh, he will if he turns around and fights. And tiny little pickoffs for that are going to be nice for Grass on this 2TC. Nice Oracle snipe coming through. Does 3 damage a hit, so the Oracle will eventually go down. Where does Hells go with this one? Has a decent amount of units, but he only has slightly more than Grass on this 2TCs. Needs to get in there, get some damage done. Shockwave Carnivora can be used to deal some big damage to these guys. You can Shockwave the front line, go towards the Caraballister, do that way, or Shockwave the Caraballister, take out everything else, or hope they land in a good spot to kind of take them out. It's definitely what Hells is looking for. Definitely take that relic back, though. He can jump in the Sky Passage. Sky Passage here, come back. It won't take him very long at all. Fair enough if this was a relic that wasn't really useful. You know, it was Charon's Obel or something, which is when your villagers die, you get like 5 food. If it was that one, definitely worth just... It's not even worth your time. But this is such a great relic. Military barracks coming up on this side. What do the oracles see? Only 3 oracles. Something that Hells could also do is kind of match the eco of Grass, or at least try and get some eco of his own, is just build out some oracles just to get some more favor, to build more heroes, build more, use more shockwaves, that sort of thing. But that is what Hells is coming forward. Wants his strong units to come through. Mamillos and Terma. No medium Mamillos. It does affect the heroes as well, so surprised to not see that one. Caraballister needs to be microed well from Grass. He doesn't have the Sky Passage to jump into. Can sit underneath the town center though, but Shockwave can be used at any point. It's be a great Shockwave opportunity if Hells wants to go for it. Yes, he will. Terma needs to go on those Caraballister as soon as possible. Carnivora used in a general spot here. Nice. Valor on the backside. Caraballister back up to full HP. Citizens even being used to turn around. No, hardly any red units left at all, but this Caraballister doing so much damage on the front side. Terma just... Why are they attacking the citizens? Take out this guy. Look at that. There we go. Look how quickly he actually takes that out. And the citizens will be going down for Hells after these Termas do run away. But I think Grass pretty much defended that one. That Caraballister got away with murder for way too long. But Hells did manage to at least get a little bit of damage done there. There are some low HP citizens on this side. If he can just regroup, do the same again with his god powers, would be absolutely great. Oh, thank you, Boy, for the raid. Hope your big stream went well. And of course, also the Soup versus Matrius game. We're watching Hells versus Grass on this one. It's been a pretty good series so far. It's a crazy game too, from Grass and Hells there. Now Hells is on a 1TC game up against Grass. Pretty crazy fight there, but Grass did manage to hold. And Hells just wants to go back in again. He has also managed to grab that relic from earlier, so the shockwaves, the carnivores are a little bit cheaper. So he will be very, very happy with that one. Probably waiting for those back to recast it. Still on that 1TC. And then Grass even forced to farm also. Really trapped inside his little cubby hole here. But back here, we've got the gold mine that Grass is on. The HellsRavage Oracle does spot this one. Can send a couple of units through. Looks like Hell's just running straight through the main base. I think he literally just clicked on it and just went, yeah, this is where I want to go. Maybe shift click messing him up a little bit, but does manage to find a Grass Citizen. Could be a Valor opportunity, but I think the Valor Citizen would go down anyways. There's kind of no point wasting 8 favor there. And a nice wall on this side. Hell's kind of caught himself out right here. Cantarius for Grass. Cantarius for Grass really went a bit of a heroic age there. Maybe that's a bit greedy. Offer you 2 TCs while he's also just been aggressed on this whole early game. And the Grass cutting sword. Which one is it? Sat down there. You hate to see it. Brought in to Grass and a really nice palace placement. I think this spot is safely defended. Hells needs to attack somewhere else. Luckily, he is Aranos. He can attack wherever he wants. Grass citizens are right here, and a chaos is forced out, but it does mean that all of those citizens will be able to get away, and the Termit will have to run and fight another battle, I think. Citizen could potentially get valid up if he needs to. But the Mamillo, the Termit, can't get the damage done. And there is another gold mine up on this top side where the palace is. He also has half of a gold mine back here. So Grass in such a great spot in this game. Termit going to be running back. Catapulties as well. And where does Hells go from here? He got some damage done, but I don't think it was really enough. Grass even greeting out the third age there, so he doesn't think it was really enough. Satyr's also coming in, such great defensive units. He can't even gold starve him. I think Hells needs to just get some big value out of his god powers, really. He does have 60 favor. Maybe a big hero attack. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Meeting Catapulties getting converted into heroes. And he's going to be knocking on the door yet again. The issue is he is classical age, so he doesn't really have myth units either. He has the flying Caladrias, so nothing to take out palaces or anything. Satyr with the big special. Decent amount of heroes should be able to take those out, but there are no hero Termers. Hero Term is going to be the best option to take out that Satyr for sure. Some Cantarius on this top side for Grass, trying to get some kind of raiding pressure in somewhere, but is going to be forced to bring them back. And now he realizes that Hells is running away. He goes, actually, I'm going to bring the Cantarius back over here, snipe some units, come over here, snipe a Sky Passage would be a nice opportunity. So many Terma here for essentially the one Caraballister. One Caraballister. A nice little bit of a choke point here, but of course, Shockwave Carnivora is going to be able to come down. What can the Terma be focusing on this time? They're not heroes. If they were heroes, they could at least go after the Satyrs potentially, but they're kind of just dead units. They're not going to be able to do much at all. Especially once the Cantarius come through. The Cantarius surround the palace, the Carnivora, the town center. The Carnivora was his, but it's still all the blue units go down. And Grass, I mean, he's taken this game in such great fashion. Such a great surround from those Cantarius, out raiding, come back, and Grass does get the 3-0 over Hells. Great game. The second game was such a back and forth affair. But the other two, Grass just outplayed. Well played to Grass. He does manage to take the 3-0 in this game. Let's get back over to this screen. Oh, thanks, Boy, for the raid. I'm not going to cast any more games. I'm not streaming or making YouTube videos at the moment. It's just because Boy asked me to do this one. But I'm super tired. Work is absolutely killing me. So thank you everybody for coming in. But I'm going to raid Motoba because he is doing the next one. Hopefully I'll be back to making more videos, more streams soon. But honestly, I'm like, yeah, I'm so tired. But you know, such is life. Sometimes you can't just do the hobby. you gotta bring home the money and things like that. But hopefully see you guys again soon, and Motoba will be rounding out the day. So I'll see you in the next one.
Has 5 Mikos out. He has 8